Hey guys. Hello. Guys, thank you very much for this interactive session. With this, I would like to invite and welcome our keynote speaker, Anita Hubner, on stage, psychologist, author, and policy advisor in Netherlands. Her main focus is reducing stigma on mental health illness in society, which we will also discuss in our session later on about European well-being through mental health care. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Now, let me start with a personal story. It's my first day at college, and I'm in a big auditorium, together with 600 to 700 fourth-year psychology students. I'm nervous, but also excited, because I am sure this will be the first day of a promising future that lays ahead of me. And the first 2 years, I enjoy student life up to the fullest. I make a lot of new friends, I go to bars, and I'm very eager to learn. I love psychology, and I pass all my exams. However, in the third year, I'm starting to sleep less. 3 to 4 hours per night. But I'm not tired. No. I am full of energy. And I'm extremely happy because I have an epiphany. I know how to save the world. And the less I sleep, the more ideas I get how to save the world. Up to the point where I end up hospitalized due to a full-blown psychosis. After 4 months of therapy, I tell my psychiatrist, hey, I'm ready to go back to school. But he looks at me and he says, people who ever had a psychosis will never recover. You will never be able to graduate. You will never be able to work. Go live in an institution. Go live on welfare. Do volunteer work. Now, at first, I was devastated because I see my future fall apart. But then, I get determined because I want to graduate. And I admit, the recovery is really hard. But slowly, my concentration improves. I pass all my exams. I graduate, and I start my career. So, can you imagine? If I would have listened to my psychiatrist 25 years ago, I would never have become a psychologist. And I would not be here today. And I know, no. Okay. And yeah, I know people might think that I'm an exception. But listen very carefully. I am not an exception at all. Because many more people were diagnosed when they were younger. But they recovered, they graduated, and they started their career. And now they are at top-level positions, like a CEO, a professor, or a decision maker. But they are silent. And why are they silent? Because they are afraid that disclosure will ruin their career. And because they are silent, we only see the stereotypes. For example, newsflash, a psychotic man kills people. Or when you watch a TV show where women with mental health problems are portrayed as drama queens. And as a result, we stigmatize people with mental illness. So once again, I am not an exception. But I am an exception in one respect. I open up. And because other people are silent, you think I'm an exception. So does this make sense? Just not if it makes sense. Okay, good. Remember this, huh? Good. So anyway, why is mental health so important right now? Well, first of all, it has always been important. Approximately 75% of all mental health conditions, they manifest before the age of 24. Now, adolescence is a time of change. It's a time when you step out of childhood into adulthood. And you start thinking about your place in the world. And yes, it can be a really exciting time, but it can also be a mentally challenging time. And these mental challenges have only grown due to school pressure, COVID, the war in the Ukraine, and climate crisis. Now, research shows that anxiety and depression have risen dramatically among young people, and they remain higher than before COVID. So mental health in young people has never been as important as it is right now. But most adolescents, they keep their mental problems to themselves. And why? Because they worry that their feelings will be invalidated by friends and family. So in other words, stigma plays a significant role in seeking help. And as a result, many adolescents, they cope with their issues on their own, which make their journey to recovery much longer. Now, how can we tackle this in the upcoming years? Well, first of all, pay particular attention to young people with pre-existing mental health conditions. Because before the crisis, these students were already at elevated risk of dropping out of school. And no diploma means no job or a poor paid job. And this will lead to financial stress or poverty. And financial stress and poverty will result in mental health problems when they grow older. So, you have to keep in mind a diploma and a paid jobs are protective factors. So, for all people who are here involved at the Ministry of Health and work in youth and education, you have to work together to improve mental health in young people. Now, third, you have to pay extra attention to loneliness. Because in the worst case, loneliness can lead to suicide. And suicide is a major cause of death among young people. And fourth, mental health professionals should be trained to help their clients who are struggling with mental health problems, and especially when they struggle with stigma. Because the most frequently asked question is, "Doctor, should I disclose or should I not disclose on my job interview that I have mental problems?" Or they stigmatize themselves and they say, "You know, I'd really like to date, but hey, who wants to date me? I'm a psychotic moron." And if you don't address these questions, people will withdraw from society, lonely and isolated. Because you really need to know from now on, the real recovery takes place in society. Going to school, having a job, and having supportive friends and family. Now, at last, how should young people deal with mental issues? Well, first, I really totally understand that mental health is a taboo. That is an embarrassing topic to talk for. But I want you to realize, as from today, the majority will recover from mental problems. Stigma is based on stereotypes. So if somebody freaks out on you when you open up, they freak out because of the stereotypes. So it's not about you, it's about the stereotypes. Second, so if someone does open up to you, really be supportive, and especially to men. I know how difficult it is for men to open up because you're considered weak, but really you have to open up. And maybe you cannot always relate what your friend is going through. Just listen, be there, because listening and being there, that's all that matters. And if you're looking on the internet for information, use the information from reliable sources. Don't just go there on TikTok or Instagram. Use the information from reliable sources. Another suggestion could be, you can join self-help groups. Self-help groups that are run by people with lived experience. Because these people exactly know what you're going through, and they will welcome you. And last but not least, seek professional help. And maybe you don't even need professional help, because maybe these previous suggestions are already helpful. And if you are in therapy, these suggestions are still helpful. So, with the alarming mental health problems in younger people today, tackling stigma and making mental health a priority has never been important as now. Mental health problems are part of being human. It is nothing to be ashamed of. But stigma and bias should shame us all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anita Hubner. What an amazing speech.
So what would you say could be the main message for the young people around Europe and for the years that are ahead of us?
My main message would be that recovery is always possible from mental illness. And
so what would you say could be the main message for the young people around Europe and for the years that are ahead of us?
my main message would be that recovery is always possible from mental illness. And